Holy crap, Christine just said my name, which is awesome. So, hey guys, my name's Chad.
Hi, Chad!
Can you hear me? How's it better? All right. So I think the only reason I got up on the stage is because Blake, Eric, and Jim asked everybody else to do it. Nobody would. Because whenever I'm looking out here, I see the people I just spent 3 days with and a whole lot of miles with. And I see a whole lot of heroes out there. And that's who should be up here, right? Is somebody who's a hero and who has this amazing story about, maybe they can tell us about their struggle or how they've overcome adversity. And I hate to let you down, but I'm kind of not that guy, right? I'm just a guy who likes to ride his bike. So, yeah, I'm a stupid guy who likes to ride his bike. So instead, since I don't have this great story to tell you about how I'm a hero, I'm going to tell you about why I do this ride. Because if you look around you, everybody's wearing one of these blue shirts. They're sore, and they're tired, and they've got chafing in places I can't tell you about. They keep you up at night, it's real. So why do we do this? So this is my 7th year doing an AIDS ride. So the first year I did the ride, I was in that kind of interesting demographic where I was born in 1980, when the AIDS crisis was really picking up steam and really becoming a crisis that we know that it is today. And when I did the ride in 2007, I was in that demographic where I had never lost anybody. I didn't know anyone who had died of AIDS. But even a step beyond that, I didn't know anyone who was positive. I didn't have any friends who were positive. And I didn't know anybody who knew anybody that had lost their fight. So I was in this strange situation where a friend of mine told me about the ride, and I thought, all right, sure. And I did it for me. I wanted to know, could I ride my bike that far? And that's what it was about. That was year 1. Right after year 1, I got a phone call from one of my very best friends. And he told me that he had just found out that he came back positive for HIV. And the ride became a little bit more personal. It wasn't just something that belonged to another group of people or even another foreign country. It was one of my best friends. So that year I rode, and every time I climbed a hill and I struggled, I thought about him and his struggle. And every time I wanted to just take my bike and throw it off the road, I thought about how he would get so frustrated and these new challenges that he had. So that was year 2. And then year 3 and year 4, it became more and more, and I had more people to think about as I was riding, as I was struggling. And then in year 5, something different happened. Because in year 5, the day before we start the ride, we all get together in Boston and we take a moment of silence, just like we did here. But during that moment of silence, we're looking at a projector screen. And on that projector screen are names. And these are all the names that have been written down, and these are the names of those that we've lost, and those that have lost their battle. And in year 5, for the very first time, I saw a name I knew. And it wasn't just a name anymore. It wasn't just a symbol anymore. That was somebody I knew, and somebody that I held, and somebody that I laughed with. And in year 6, I knew a couple of names. And just a few days ago, I knew more than a couple. And right then, that's whenever this ride stopped being a symbolic thing for me. It started to be something that was real. I wasn't doing something for somebody else. I was doing it because it became my fight, because I was losing my friends. And that's why I do this ride. So someday, we're all going to get together and we're going to look at that screen and we're going to celebrate instead of cry. Because there's going to be no more new names on that list. But until that day that we can all get together and celebrate, we're going to do this ride. And every year we're going to ride our sorry selves back here to New York. Because, yeah, that's right. Because there's still a fight to be done. And so that's why I do this ride. I do it for everybody that's here, and I do it for myself now, because that's now my fight. And so before, whenever I started, I said that I didn't think I'm a hero, and I don't think I'm a hero. But maybe what we did this weekend, and the money we raised, maybe to somebody even living in this house right behind me, maybe to that person I am a hero. And maybe you people are heroes. So right after we're done here, we're all going to go inside and we're going to get crazy. Can I get a whoop whoop on that? That's what I'm talking about. So while we're getting crazy, in there you're going to see Eric. Eric will have pens, and he's going to have forms, and he'll be wearing a smile. And Eric is going to have these forms where you too can sign up to be a writer. And I'm telling you people, you gotta do it. So really quick, if I could just get a show of hands of all the writers here this year, if you could just raise your hands if this was your very first AIDS ride, please. Everybody else that doesn't have their hand raised, please look at these people, memorize their face, and when we're inside, you're enjoying a beer or whatever you're doing in there, I want you to find one of these people and I want you to talk to them, and I want you to ask them what this ride means, what they just did, and how it just changed the world, and how you can join us next year. Thank you so much. I love you all so much.
Thank you so much, Chad. Now we've reached the end of our ceremony, but